Today we're going to have a look at simple interest. So we're moving on from wages and going into simple interest. Our learning intention is to calculate simple interest using the simple interest formula I equals PRN. Now in this formula we have I is our interest, and what's important is, let's have a look at our units, our interest in dollars. That's how much interest is how much money we earn when we invest or money, or how much extra money we have to pay back if we borrow it. Now the principal P is the amount of money we borrow or invested, and that is also in dollars. So we're going to have those two in dollars. I, P are in dollar amounts when we're looking in our questions. Now R is the interest rate per time period. Now here it says decimal or fraction. That's the form we need to get it to before we insert it into that formula. It's nearly always going to be quoted to us, given to us in percentage, and then we will use our skills to convert the percentage to a decimal or a fraction before we put it into the equation. Now N is the number of time periods, and so for most of the questions we do, our percent, we're going to be given an interest rate. R might be 5% per annum. Now per annum means per year, which means that our time periods has got to be in years to match up if we are going to have that. Now later we might get a interest rate given to us per month, in which case our period would also have to be a month. Both the units for N and the interest rate have to be for the same time period. Okay, then what that formula does is it tells us how much money we earn on our investment. Now we still have our investment, so the total amount of money that we will get back from our investment is going to be equal to what we had in the first place, which is the principal, plus what we earn is the interest, or if we have borrowed money, we need to pay back both the money that we paid, the principal, plus the extra money, the interest that we're being charged. So our total amount A is equal to our principal plus our interest. Let's have a look at an example of a question. So using the simple interest formula, calculate the simple interest earned if the principal P is 1,000, the rate R is 5% per annum, and the time is 3 years. So let's have a look. Time, remember, is N for number of time periods. Okay, so our principal, we'll write down P equals $1,000. Now our R is 5% per annum. Remember, we want to change that to either a fraction or a decimal before we put it into the formula. You can do either, but we've got our 5 divided by 100 equals 0.05 per annum, and our number of years is 3. Coming over here and putting in our formula, I is equal to P, 1,000 times our R, 0.05 times our N, 3. We put all that in, and what comes out of our calculator is $150. Okay, so there's going to be lots of different questions on those forms, or what we're doing today. They'll all be similar. Now the second type of problem we can have is, all right, so that's how much interest we earn. What is the total amount? So calculating the final balance when we look at the second one. I am going to do chunk 1, you might say in chunk 2. This will probably be chunk 2 when I do it on the board. I'm going to do it all in this one video. You can pause it. So $4,000, that's our principal, is invested. So we know that's our P. For 30 months at 4.5% per annum, calculate the simple interest and the total amount at the end of the 30 months. So this here is our time period. This here is our rate. Now look at this is per annum. So we need that 30 months to be in years. Let's have a look at our solution. So our P, we pulled out 4,000. That was pretty straightforward. We pulled out of here. Our rate, we pulled out over here, 4.5% per annum. We're going to change that percent sign into a divided by 100 and get 0.045. Now our N, We need it in years. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide 30 months by 12 months per year, and that will tell us that 30 months is 2.5 years. There's a year, 12 months a year, so there's 24 in 2 years, and then another 6 months, another half a year will get us to 30. Come over here, put in our formula. We've got I equals PRN. Substitute those numbers in. P in here, our R in here, and our N in here. Put them in our calculator, our answer comes out at $450. Now we've still got one thing to do here. We need to find the total amount. So our total amount is equal to our principal plus the interest we earn. So it's that $4,000 we had in the first place, and we're adding the $450 that we just worked out here. We just worked our interest out. We're going to add that to it, and we end up with $4,450. So we quickly have a look at the questions that I put in for today. Hopefully I've done a good job. We should have some questions. Looks like I'm using the free 4 sheets, am I? All right, so I'm using the free 4 sheets. Here's some questions in the first place to just converting our percentages. So that's putting those percentages in to divide by 100. Then when we get up here, we have got some questions with our simple interest rate. So these ones step us through the step. You can see up here, we've got the step of converting that R into a decimal first and then substituting it in here. So they're all those questions, and I'm hoping they're all working out interest. And this second one should be getting us to work some of the totals. So here we have some of our totals. So that is going to be chunk 1, chunk 2, sheet 1 and sheet 2. Thank you.